The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to TVWAN News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr.
And I'm Rex Lita.
In this edition, third quarter free education funds dispersed, police hierarchy failed to prevent Black Wednesday, and Lakimata prison overcrowded. Six weeks into Term 3 and a total of 109 million kina of third quarter tuition fees for schools around PNG will finally be disbursed to school accounts this week. This amount covers both the third quarter tuition fee and project fee grants.
Despite the funds coming in late, Education Secretary Dr. Uke Combra commended the Mara Peroso government and Education Minister Lucas Dekena for granting the Term 3 tuition fee funding for schools nationwide, enabling students to continue their education into the term. Dr. Combra is confident that this funding will assist them to continue their operations towards the end of the year. He also announced that the department had received an additional 106.5 million kina, which will be allocated to elementary, primary, forward and inclusive education resource centers by next week. From this year's budget allocation of 850.9 million kina, the department has received and by next week successfully released funding for quarters 1 to 3, totaling 638.9 million kina, with a remaining balance of 212 million kina for quarter 4. Dr. Combra urged all school administrations to use these funds wisely, focusing on priority areas that will enhance teaching and learning within their institutions. With the end of the academic year and the national examinations fast approaching, he has also urged school administrators to plan well and allocate some of these monies to support students in their preparations. The government's GTFS policy has made a significant difference in the lives of the 2.4 million students and their parents. Ruth Rongola, TVWAN News.
Retail prices for fuel have increased this month and comes into effect today. Petrol has increased by 10 toy per litre, diesel by 2 toy per litre, and kerosene by 1 kina 68 toy per litre. These retail price increases are mainly attributed to higher oil demand in the U.S. and the ongoing geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. As part of enforcement and compliance, ICCC investigators will conduct inspections to all service stations to ensure prices of the declared petroleum products comply with the allowable maximum prices. The Commission of Inquiry into the Royal PNG Constabulary's January 10th civil unrest revealed the need to educate police officers to better manage their finances.
The January 10th civil unrest, which started from a pay cut issue, has raised the need for more emphasis to be put to better educate police officers on how to better manage their finances daily. This was revealed during the Commission of Inquiry into the January 10th civil unrest today in Port Moresby. COI Chair and Commissioner Justice Elinas Batari today questioned Assistant Commissioner of Police for Crimes, Hodges Ete, to explain further why police officers went on strike on January 10th. Ete revealed that most police officers live on their fortnight pay, and it was frustrating to receive less or nothing at the time when pay hit their account.
You say minus 200, that's a huge problem. And that's a real cause for someone to be angry because he or she is living on a fortnight basis. That's what that's possibly contributed to what happened on the...
Indeed, many of the members of the police force at that particular point in time, when the cut happened, you have about some with minus 200 kina in the pay. That means below zero.
Atta said most police officers and public servants take loans neither through registered financial companies or unregistered financial companies, and it was difficult for them at that time to repay their loans. This was one of the reasons why they went on strike.
Loans, cultural law, within not only within the police force but generally throughout the public service.
Atta also raised the issue of unnecessary spending by officers on non-essentials. He said these are some of the factors that add to the mismanagement of finances in the police force that also needs to be addressed. In response, Batare said this issue must be brought to the attention of the RPNGC Welfare Division, advising them of the need to educate police officers to better manage their finances and practice a savings culture. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Meantime, Etta told the inquiry that the police hierarchy had adequate time to prevent the unrest from happening. Etta said they received information that there would be a protest at around 7 a.m. The informant said the protest will convene at 9:30 a.m. He said that time period was sufficient for the hierarchy to intervene and stop the protest. However, that approach was not considered.
Circumstances, I would say yes, time was sufficient. When you look at the whole of the scenario, the anger with which the policemen and women reacted, yes, it had a bearing on any attempt to have it deterred.
Police investigators from the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary are currently undergoing a 3-week residential scene of crime course in Port Moresby. More emphasis will be put on training investigators in the forensic sector.
The 3-week residential scenes of crime course is part of RPNGC's objective to uplift the standard of forensics in Papua New Guinea through the PNG Australia Policing Partnership Program. The training started on Monday and will run for 3 weeks. Police investigators from Medang, Mount Hagen, Wewak, Popondetta and Kokopo flew in to join investigators in Port Moresby to take part in the training. The training is being delivered by a forensic specialist with the PNG APP. Deputy Commissioner of Police for Training, Peter Philip, said the people of Papua New Guinea over the years have questioned the investigative skills of RPNGC police personnel. Hence, this 3-week training will upskill police investigators with new investigation skills.
People in Papua New Guinea know that we have this, and in recent events, people are, questioning our efficiency and how much we know that we can support our investigators to get criminals convicted.
Philip said the courts rely on investigation, and through this training, he believes investigators throughout the country will be better skilled to carry out investigations, especially in terms of supporting the courts with sufficient evidence.
Those we bring before courts, the courts interpreted the laws and they can handle this accordingly.
Deputy Commissioner Philip urged the participants to learn as much as they can so that they can make a difference in their respective investigation divisions they are attached to. Roland Dennis, TV1 News.
The Papua New Guinea Chamber of Resources and Energy is set to yet again host the most prestigious PNG Investment Week in December. It officially announced the dates today in Port Moresby, with Prime Minister James Marape launching the event this afternoon.
The 2024 Papua New Guinea Investment Week will take place from December 6 to the 11th, 2024 at the International Convention Centre in Sydney, Australia. In his remarks, Prime Minister James Marape acknowledged a partnership between the government and the Papua New Guinea Chamber of Resources and Energy in continuing to promote Papua New Guinea as an investment destination.
Nothing but all round of commendations to core PNG leadership, and we look forward to actual presence in that week, but also now leading up to the week the event is hosted. The government looks forward to also giving its support and our partnership.
PNG Core President Anthony Smare reaffirmed the organization's commitment to the industry to promote opportunities on offer in partnership with government and key stakeholders.
But Papua New Guinea is more than resources and energy. We acknowledge that. It is fisheries, it is agriculture, infrastructure, renewables, and all the other exciting things that are being done by Papua New Guineans, by investors, and particularly by the government. Very excited to launch a new event, and that is the imaging and the expansion of our traditional Sydney conference into what we are calling the PNG Investment Week. It will be 5 days in Sydney where we will promote everything about investing that is worth investing in Papua New Guinea, all the good stories that we have.
More than 2,000 business delegates are anticipated to attend the PNG Investment Week. Furthermore, the autonomous Bougainville government will for the first time participate in the event to promote direct international investment into Bougainville.
Bougainville is a good place for investment, and these are sort of forums where Bougainville investment opportunities are promoted. So whether it's mining or agriculture, fisheries, we look forward to them being participants.
You're watching TVWAN News. We'll have more stories after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Laga, Bunyamyumi.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Fine PNG made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
Superstition ain't the way.
Welcome back. Although yet to be gazetted, the Medang Provincial Health Authority finally has a new board after 2 years of running without one. The appointments were fast-tracked as a result of the petition by the Medang PHA staff last month. Caretaker CEO Dr. Sammy Thomas welcomed the new board members, stating it was high time They were included in the running of the affairs of the Medang PHA, specifically to keep checks and balances on the CEO. There have been speculations about the appointments, and Dr. Thomas took time to explain.
The contract of the CEO expired. The legalities of that, let the court decide. So given the situation of where PHA was and close to 1,000 employees, they demanded change because they didn't see in the last 4 years PHA didn't progress the way they wanted. They're clinical people, they know, they can see things that are not working right. So it was right to do the change, but they asked on a petition to people responsible that they wanted another CEO to act on their behalf until such time the board comes in to appoint the CEO. And that's the crux of the matter.
Dr. Thomas clarified that his appointment was done and gazetted on the 3rd of July, while the board was appointed week after on the 10th of July. Due to the pressure from the Modilon Hospital staff, with support from the Doctors and Nurses Association, 9 people were appointed to the board by the National Executive Council, including the Provincial Administrator Frank Lau as an ex officio member. The chairman and deputy chairman of the board appointed by the minister and endorsed by the council are Boga Soni Figa and Yang Wadao, respectively. The first Legislative Council has been advised to have the instruments ready for the gazettal. Dr. Thomas, a neurosurgeon by profession with over 35 years of experience, is keen on revamping the Modilon General Hospital to one of the best in the country. For now, as caretaker, he has been fixing loopholes within the administration.
So at the moment, in the South Admin office, I kind of identified where the problem is in the meeting PHA. It has nothing to do with our work. It's our finances and our HR. They're doing to put together. And we are doing that. We're getting stringent measures. We are cut down on the spending. We are putting money in the places it should be going to. And after that, we are putting money in right places. And I can advise people giving money whether they give me enough money or not. I just want to know where the money is leaking out from. So we're putting money exactly where it's supposed to go to. Primary health, secondary health, for hospitals, wherever the money should be placed. So things like overtime are cut off. Things like travels are put on hold too. Things like fuel I'm controlling. Things that I can control, I'm controlling so that I can get the finance right. People in the office who are touching the money, feeling around, are moving around, reshuffling and putting them in the place that they should be.
He is also assuring the people of Medang that moving on forward, the affairs of the administration will be for the good of the people, and all monies will be accounted for and spent where it needs to be spent. The Engen workforce of Oktedi Mining Limited has raised 80,000 kina to aid the Mulitaka people of Enga province affected by the landslide. Funds were collected through community donations and a corporate dinner in Tabobil. Edward Mayapu, the group's lead, explained the money will address cultural and social needs not covered by other aid, such as compensation for deaths. OTML Managing Director Kedi Limbit commended the workforce for their initiative and commitment to addressing overlooked issues. OTML will soon announce further support for the Mulitaka appeal. Lakimata Prison in West New Britain Province is grappling with severe overcrowding, with the number of inmates soaring to 621, far exceeding its capacity of 390. This surge in inmate numbers has led to a critical shortage of food and accommodation within the facility. In response to the crisis, the West New Britain Provincial Government, through its disaster office, stepped in last Friday evening to provide essential support. The government supplied the prison with much-needed food and erected 3 large tents to help accommodate the overflow of inmates. The Lakimata prison in West New Britain Province was designed to house 390 inmates. However, the prison currently accommodates 621 individuals, leading to critical shortages in food and accommodation. In response to this crisis, the provincial government, through its disaster office, intervened last Friday evening, supplying food and 3 large tents to the prison. Superintendent Dimon Ga, commander of Lakimata Correctional Service, expressed gratitude for the government's intervention. He said this is the second time the government is assisting after their population reached 502.
People challenge now inside the administration, inside the banis. Now people are worried, people are not trying to manage. So government must look away now. People are stop the states, people are to problems. In fact, crime, when order inside the province, people are in different infections. People are like in the soul. That all facility, people look at them, people look at them, and people look at them. So people got all accommodation, people got all resources, don't go to more trouble. People are much low, look at more trouble. But I people got resources, people got all facility, look at more trouble. People must work from time hard legislation. Thank you, government. Madam Cripe Mikla, Director Minister, and team, staff at Mikla Lonavno, Madam Assistants, and Government Applauding. Thank you.
Clement Bailey, Acting Director of the West New Britain Provincial Disaster and Emergency Response Centre, emphasized the government's commitment to supporting the prison.
It's mentioned by the Commander on behalf of the Governor, Honorable Sachinda Mutual, and his government, the Provincial Administrator, Mr. Leo Mapnani, and his administration. We received a call from here, from the Commander, regarding this issue. So this is not the first time, it's maybe a second time for the provincial government to assist through the disaster office. I think the government is investigating alone, has supported the national agency very well, both the police and the CIS, but a lot of things that needs to be done with the different requirements. Now all one kind of needs long facilities where only you can also make tarabusman or land long all our staff. Yeah, I think here with me, the government has assisted in providing this the chickens and 20,000 worth of rations of rice and 100 bales of 200 bales of 210 kg bags, which is 20 bales of rice plus other foods as well. So we are very happy as a government. I think it's a must that in Western Britain they have been supporting this, and we continue to support our national agency in the province.
The situation at Lakimata Prison underscores the urgent need for continued government support and collaboration to address overcrowding and ensure the well-being of inmates and staff, with recent assistance including the donation of 3 tents and 20,000 kina worth of food supplies. These efforts are crucial in helping the prison manage its resources more effectively during this challenging time. Given the situation at Lakimata Prison, Prison Commander Superintendent Demonga emphasized the urgent need for tents and rations to assist the prisoners while implementing a special roster to manage security risks by identifying low-risk inmates who can be housed in the tents outside under guard supervision. He expressed gratitude for the recent donations but highlighted the urgent need for more comprehensive support.
So meeting emergent assistance, so only give start 10 down or rations now, but helping Okarabus. Now also will be doing a special roster long try and look na help him or staffs long maybe like can walk around long security risk at risk cyber security. So maybe like believe for some probably identify more low risk. So maybe can pull him out now, set him 10 down now by putting all outside now all can sleep outside now with the supervision of our guards. Government must look up long CS. I've talked to Governor, provincial government. Only local police. Why not CS? Maybe staff too. Maybe our national agency. All to provincial government. Long Western provincial government must look up too. Long CS. Only can look now. Build them another extra 2 or 3 all cells. Long accommodating for our remandees and also our convicted detainees. Thank you.
Internationally renowned gospel artist Bob Fitz will host a special workshop in Papua New Guinea on August 31st at the Living Light Foursquare Gospel Church at Kaugere. Known for his iconic worship songs like Blessed Be the Lord God Almighty, Fitz has been a leading figure in gospel music for over 30 years. This workshop is a unique opportunity for gospel music enthusiasts and aspiring musicians to learn from a master. Attendees can expect an enriching experience filled with worship, musical excellence, and personal insights from Fitz's journey in music ministry. And now to the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2579 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2504, 3816 Australian dollars, 0.2215 euro, and 36.34 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, cocoa, and copper closed higher, while copra, palm, and crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll be back with the regional news after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up and big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste P&G loves.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency, and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort, and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
Scalerize brings to you some Scale Indie vibes this independence. Cashing out a total of 300,000 kina in prize money around PNG this independence. 4 fortnightly draws, 75 fortnightly winners, 300 total Scalerize winners, and 1,000 kina Scale Indie prize for every Scale winner. Here's how to enter the promotion. Buy any Scale or Oririse product, write your full name and contact details on the back of the store receipt, drop your entry into the entry box in store. For more information, either check in store or follow us on our Scalerize PNG page. Terms and conditions apply. Scalerize.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. In regional news, the experiences and challenges facing Pacific journalists attempting to uphold freedom of expression and information across the region will be captured for the first time in an inaugural survey of Pacific media freedoms. For us, by us, about us. Launched today by the Regional Media Freedoms Watchdog Pacific Freedom Forum, or PFF, the survey asked journalists in 14 Pacific countries, excluding Australia and New Zealand, to base their answers on the day-to-day reality of reporting in their respective island states. An online network founded more than a decade ago, the PFF works to protect and promote Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which establishes the rights to freedom of expression and freedom of information as a fundamental human right. The Pilot Pacific Islands Media Freedom Survey is aimed at establishing robust baseline data on the state of media freedom in the Pacific, according to PFF Chair Robert Iroga. Turning overseas, on a dry desert landscape 115 kilometers northeast of Alice Springs sits one of Australia's most significant fossil beds. It offers a fascinating window into the past when giant megafauna walked the land, and this year paleontologists have uncovered a groundbreaking discovery.
Secrets of a changing climate. Paleontologists have been coming to these prehistoric fossil beds northeast of Alice Springs for 4 decades, uncovering a treasure chest of bones belonging to long extinct giant land animals.
This site is witnessing the birth of the red centre.
For the first time, paleontologists have uncovered an articulated leg of a large flightless bird, the Ilbandornis woodbini, meaning they can now tell the difference between 2 species of the prehistoric bird already in the museum's collection.
Now we've got concrete proof because we've got a single individual, so all the bones we know belong to that particular species.
The Alcuda fossil beds are relatively young, at 8 million years old. And it's the only place in Australia which gives a detailed picture of how land animals once lived.
We have registered in our collections 10,000 different bones that we've dug up from this site.
For 3 decades, volunteers have been coming to these beds, hoping to dust off a rare discovery.
I love the place. It's something spiritual for me.
It's hard to believe that this arid desert landscape was once wet and humid and home to giant flightless birds and wombat-like creatures. Despite decades of digging here at the Alcuda fossil beds here in Central Australia, some of the mysteries remain unsolved and undiscovered.
We're digging up pieces of the past in order to inform the future.
Mysteries of the distant past still to be discovered.
The Reserve Bank is facing pressure for its decision to keep interest rates higher for longer, with the Treasurer disagreeing with the RBA's assessment that the economy is running too hot. Charities say real people are hurting and many are turning to their services to help put food on the table.
People are relying on charities to get by as household budgets stretch far beyond their means.
Yeah, everything's gone up. Cost of living is crazy. I mean, cost of gas, petrol is ridiculous.
The Reserve Bank says that prices are staying higher than they'd like.
We just think the economy is running a little bit hotter than we thought previously. I think it's going to take a little bit longer for inflation to get back to target.
So if the economy is running a little bit hot, what can be done about it?
We have, very broadly speaking, one lever. It is a very blunt one, it's interest rates,
which the central bank now says will stay higher for longer.
I think it's hard to sustain an argument that the economy is running too hot or that people have too much spare cash, given all of the data and all of the feedback that we get, which shows that's not the case.
From our perspective, we're setting policy for the aggregate, and that's what's really, really challenging because we know about the group that are struggling there.
Charities like this are helping people from all walks of life, people who can't afford rising rents, people sleeping on the streets, and increasingly people with higher mortgages. The question is, how much longer can all of these people hang on?
I understand economists and the way that they speak, but the impacts that they have on people are tangible, they're real, and they hurt, and they're hurting too many people. To be told you're just an aggregate doesn't help put food on the table.
And that's the real story here as politicians and bankers debate the data.
Angus MacDonald's portrait of Indigenous activist Marcia Langton has taken home the Archibald Prize People's Choice Award.
The 2024 Archibald Prize People's Choice Award has been won by artist Angus MacDonald for his portrait of Marsha Langton. Angus MacDonald is a 7-time finalist of the Archibald Prize and previously won the People's Choice Award in 2020. His work this year was an oil-on-canvas portrait of Aboriginal writer and activist Marsha Langton.
Marsha Langton is a towering figure in our social history. She's one of our greatest ever thinkers. She spent a lifetime fighting and struggling for recognition, reconciliation and justice for our First Nations people. She's done that with the courage of her convictions, with following her own path.
More than 21,000 people voted in the competition for the award this year, which is the 3rd highest voter turnout since the award started in 1998.
The African Australian community is calling for a cultural reset within Queensland Police after the violent arrest of a Zimbabwean man in Ipswich last year, captured on police body cam footage obtained by the ABC. Police say they're investigating the incident and refuse to comment further.
Late December 2023 in Ipswich, just west of Brisbane. Jungamiri Chipana Mazzano has been visiting his brother and stops by this Ripley petrol station.
It was a sunny day, it was just a good day actually.
He pulls in to fill up his car with petrol but realises the Bowser has no E10. So he gets back into his car and pulls into another bay. Then he's yelling. His alleged crime, not wearing a seatbelt while moving his car, something he denies. His arm was broken during the violent arrest.
I was telling them, you've broken my arm. And there was no empathy, nothing, like just how they'll treat an animal.
He's speaking out for the first time, believing he was racially profiled.
Even if I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, that's what they were stopping me for. There was nothing that would warranted that kind of behaviour.
The 48-year-old father has lived in Australia for 13 years after arriving from Zimbabwe, but the arrest made him fear for his life.
I was thinking death.
Jungamiri Chipana Mazzano lodged a complaint with police. The charges against him have since been dropped. A spokesperson for Queensland Police said they're aware of the matter and it's subject to an internal investigation. Despite extensive questions by the ABC, the spokesperson said it would be inappropriate to comment any further. Having watched that video, do you think it was an overreaction by the police officers?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that situation could have been handled very differently.
Community leaders say racial profiling is a systemic issue and are calling for leadership within the police to eradicate it.
Training is important, but I think it depends to the leadership of the organisation and the institution to shape the behaviour of the personnel within that institution.
Jungamiri Chipana Mazzano says the incident has taken a physical and mental toll. He's now considering returning to Zimbabwe.
It makes me feel not welcome in Australia.
And that ends the news segment. Join Rex Litter after the break for your news in sports.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Are you ready to meet the best version of yourself? The one with the bright, confident smile? You've got to take pride in how good you look, how fresh your breath smells, and how great you feel. To boss it at work, to be your best for uni, or to catch the eye of that special someone. You've got to brush up your vibe with whiter, healthier, brighter teeth. Brush up for confidence with Colgate.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
At the PNG LNG project, we are proud of our long-standing partnership with the Kumuls, as they represent the hopes and aspirations of so many Papua New Guineans. Rugby league is more than just a sport. It promotes our shared values of leadership, teamwork, respect, personal integrity, and excellence. Lessons learnt on the pitch carry on throughout life and go beyond serving ourselves.
Right, was knocked down by a Pape. He goes the length of the field, and Edwin a Pape. Wow, what a try!
Inside and given away in towards the middle. Has he got the legs right up against the line?
Welcome back. PNG's sensational weightlifter Morea Baru completed his competition with a massive lift in the clean and jerk to place him 5th out of 12 athletes at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Following the registration of his entry with a 118 kg lift in the snatch, it was all smiles for Morea after he cleared all 3 lifts in a clean and jerk with 161 kg. The 3-time Olympian lifted a total of 279 kg at the South Arena, placing him 5th overall in the men's 61 kg weightlifting division. Though he did not do well in the snatch, Morea knew he had to do a big clean and jerk to give himself a good total, which he did. After looking at his placing, he knew this was the fruit of his hard work and sacrifice. Weightlifting coach Willie Tamasi said, "Overall, it was a huge achievement for Morea and for the country. Even though the results were not expected in the snatch, they had to make sure the pull of the 3 attempts in the clean and jerk to put him in a good position, and very happy with the Morea's results." The chief demisian Ryan Pinney was also impressed with Morea's performance, saying Morea showcased his strength and skill at the Paris 2024 Olympics, securing an impressive 5th place and incredible feat. Team PNG has so far put in some competitive performances at the Paris Olympics. From John Ume in the boxing ring to Jos Tarere in the pool and Leonie Beu on track, PNG athletes gave their best shot in their respective events. The only remaining sport for Team PNG is Taekwondo. Kevin Kasman, an Olympic debut, takes the fight tonight, and Gibson Mara on Saturday as the last athlete for Team PNG. The now 3-time Olympian Morea Baru took the podium in his event, weightlifting, yesterday, where he did a big clean and jerk with 161 kg, but couldn't get the result he wanted. The central athlete represented the country with pride, lifting a total of 279 kg. Li Fabin of China finished first with 310 kg, 31 kg difference. Baru went better in Paris than in Brazil, Rio 2016, and Japan, Tokyo 2020. Baru's coach Willie Tamasi said it was a huge achievement for Morea and for the country for making that far. He said it was an even better performance compared to his previous Olympic outings.
281 was his qualifying total for Paris. So he'll be 2 below that if successful on this attempt. has the clean. And has the lead.
The last two athletes for Team PNG are Kevin Casman and Gibson Mara. Casman takes the ring tonight, August 8th, in the 68 kg division against a British fighter. The fight presents another opportunity for the young man to make a name for himself at the world's most iconic sporting event and make his country proud. Although he hasn't fought at big stages before, Casman would bank his trust on his team as well as the taekwondo training he received from one of the best in sports, in the sport, Edward Casman. The fight will be televised on TVWAN Sports at 6:59 p.m. Fellow fighter Mara will bout in the 60 kg weight division on 10th August as the last of the 7 PNG athletes participating in the Paris Olympics. PNG Air Highlands Mamasa Regional Athletics Youth Championship kicks off tomorrow at the National Sports Institute in Goroka. The championship runs for 3 days, starting tomorrow and ends on Sunday. The tournament is one of the biggest events on the calendar for Athletics PNG this year. Team entries came from all the regions in the country. Tournament coordinator Philip Kamane said the team from East Sepik and an athlete from Team Arob are in Goroka already. The others, including Lei, Jiwaka and NTD, are expected to join them later tonight. He said Team East New Britain couldn't make the championship due to cancellation of their flight despite registering their teams for the tournament. Kamane said they have conducted tests and training for the technical officials today, and they are set for the championship tomorrow. Former Balguria's Halki Pro forward Jordan Pat has vowed he'll stop at nothing to help the PNG Hunters stay in the finals contention after 2 dismal performances against Dolphins and Falcons over the past 2 weeks. The Hunters return to the Santos National Football Stadium this Sunday to host 10th place Tweed Seagulls. This is a must-win game to stay in the top 8. Hunters are currently seated on 7th spot and Capras in 6th spot, with both on 24 points apiece. Below them are winner Manly Seagulls on 8 points and Black Hawks on 9 points, both on 23 points.
The Western Highlands native seems to be relishing his comeback season with the Hunters since he made his debut back in 2019 under his former mentor Michael Murrum. Pat has rekindled his passion for the game after returning to the Hunters system this year, especially playing again at the QRL level. With his valuable experience and the energy he brings seem to be rubbing off on the younger players in the squad. With finals approaching and 3 games remaining, the Hunters prop is ready to put his body on the line regardless of where or how coach Paul Ayton uses him, either on the run on 13 or off the bench. While reflecting back on the team's below-par performances of late, Pat believes the boys will bounce back with a win in front of their home fans. His motto is taking 1 game at a time and not to get ahead of themselves.
You got chance that, but like lulu forward finals are really lo tayo triple game one at a time. If we look at the game, that big chance lo good lo top 4. Currently now plus 7 place, so we need to win the triple games. I'm like one at a time, one on weekend.
After a video review following the loss to Dolphins, Pat said they were able to see their mistakes and areas where they needed to improve and must fix them before this weekend's game. He said pressure is on them to win the remaining games and need to execute the coach's plans and be better.
Yo lugumul eras we blow am legin blood down lem now aste now blow lo okumul eras lem blow lo leme fixi lem blow fixi lo trending now like blow forward lo lem game chol mi want them all or triple triple one more blow me blow line lo namel or mirrors like blow forward lo okumul strong ba itas pan in front quick player ball like all good ball strong ball tackle so that's it I'm sure helping team no win Like, I'm going look forward to like the crowds or family, friends, I'm stable them, support. I'm kind of boost to like moral, to advantage, side, or crowds, like, your home ground, like, I'm look forward to play like game.
The Hunters play Seagulls on Sunday, followed by Brisbane Tigers next weekend, before they meet Clydesdales the following Saturday to end the regular rounds. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The rivalry between the two oldest rugby union clubs in the country, the University Piggies and Kremhaus and Co Brothers, continues on Friday night at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium as they square up for the renowned Aduni Cup. The first ever Friday night football for the Pepsi Capital Rugby Union is expected to be a spectacle when the Piggies and Brothers battle for the right to walk home with the traditional Aduni Cup. President of Pepsi Capital Rugby Union, Corey Chan, is anticipating a great night of rugby between the two foundation clubs. The Friday night football is a concept that's designed to see CRU teams competing at the traditional home of rugby, Sir Hubert Murray Stadium, on Friday nights, heading into finals in September. The match will be preceded by another big match between the Hanenamos and Bagias, the first CRU women's representative teams. It's now or never for Port Moresby Rugby League A-grade reigning champions, Ohola Flies, to defend the crown this season. Flies will be up against Hanua Bada Hawks in what is predicted to be a tough contest in Sunday's main fixture at the Santos National Football Stadium.
With one match remaining after this weekend, Flies are in danger of missing out in the top 6 playoff, currently sitting on the 7th spot with bigger Petroleum Gulf West on 13 points. West are up against Double Warriors in the early encounter on Sunday. Tiger Panthers and Double Warriors are locked on 14 apiece, while Coney Tigers on 12 points have an outstanding match against Double Warriors. It's a must-win situation for these 5 teams to have a crack at making the top 6. While Royals on 22, Coney Tigers on 21, Magani 19 and Hanua Bada Hawks on 18 on the safe standing. They still need to win their respective games to cement their spots. The minor premiership is still up for grabs between Royals and Storms. Saturday's lunch hour hit-out will be between Coney Tigers and Coney Storms, followed by Tarangau and Defence, and the main challenge will be between Royals and the Young Guns Butterflies. The Friday football features foundation clubs Magani versus Tiger Panthers, which promises to be an epic match. While in the women's, with the Santos Cup National Women's Rugby League competition Round 2, this will affect teams in PRL as most of the players are involved with the Central Demaris and Port Moresby Vipers. On Sunday, Double Warriors will be without 4 senior players against Big Ear Gulf West. This also sees Ohola Flies and Hanua Bada Hawks at equal challenge on the day. On Saturday, Tarangau and Defence will have an even contest with Royals and Butterflies fight it out in another interesting contest. On Friday, Coney Tigers up against Coney Storms. Women's points ladder after round 14, Ohola Flies lead the way on 25 points, Hanua Bada Hawks on 23, Double Warriors 22, Defence 18, Tarangau 18, Tiger Panthers 17, Coney Storms 15 and Coney Tigers 14, Gulf West 8, Royals 4, Butterflies and Magadi yet to register. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That wraps up the sports segment. Carol.
Thank you, Rex. And now we'll have the weather forecast for the main centres for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby partly cloudy, Daru partly sunny to mostly cloudy, Kirema mostly cloudy with some afternoon rain showers and possible thunderstorms, Alotau mostly cloudy with some showers, Popondetta some rain showers with possible thunderstorms, Momase Lay cloudy possible brief showers, Pedang mostly fine, Wewak and Vanimo partly cloudy with chances of some showers. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau partly cloudy with few afternoon showers, Kavieng partly cloudy with a shower or 2, Kokopo and Rabaul partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms, Kimbe mostly fine and Booker partly cloudy with occasional showers and possible thunderstorms. Highlands, Mount Hagen mostly cloudy with some afternoon rain showers with possible thunderstorms. Goroka Barnes and Kundiawa partly cloudy with some afternoon rain showers. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg cloudy with some rain showers. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea seas rather rough to rough with southeast winds of 20 to 25 knots. Solomon Sea seas rather rough to rough with southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 knots at times. Bismarck Sea seas moderate to rough over the southwestern sector with the southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 to 30 knots over the southwestern sector. Pacific Ocean seas slight with easterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, to Kerama to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samari Islands. Seas 1.5 to 2 meters, rising to 2.5 to 3 meters at times along warning areas. Waters of Samari Island to Cape Vogel and all Millen Bay Islands, seas 1.5 to 2 meters. Waters of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finchafen, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Finchafen through Vitia Strait to Siesi and Long Islands, seas 2.5 to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters west of Long Island to Medang to Manam to Bogia to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG and Indonesian border, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, rising to 2.5 meters at times along warning areas. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of New Island to Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of New Britain Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2 to 3 meters at times along warning areas. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.